Hello.
Hello! Why are you joining me? Where's the enthusiasm? Welcome back, everyone, to Dead Dog Talking, our podcast where we talk about whatever we want.
Well, yeah. Eventually, I think we'll hone it down and figure out what we actually do
Yes.
want to talk about consistently.
So, for those that care, we have discussed doing a sort of using these episodes as a trial run
But this is an experiment.
for what we're talking about, various things.
The
and
tricky
then-
first album.
tricky first album, and then we'll see what happens from there. But we always begin with two things that, like them or love them or hate them, and that's the beverage.
Oh yeah. Cider.
I can confirm that is cider. And would you like to say what we're talking about today?
Yeah. So I've always been a big. Well, I think we've both been big fans of comedy, right?
Yep.
I especially have always enjoyed stand-up comedy. I have considered giving it a go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think in preparation for eventually maybe giving it a go at some
You
point.
should definitely do some.
Well,
We'll do some tests on the
an
pod.
an open mic or something. Yeah, I think that might. It's not quite the same.
No.
No, because you like to shut my jokes down and things.
Okay.
So
But I'm your harshest critic.
this is true.
So
Nobody hates me more than you do.
there you go.
And that's saying a lot. But yeah, so I thought I'd go through my sort of experience with stand-up from an audience point of view. And I'll be talking about all the live, and it's not a lot, but my experience of live stand-up comedy. And yeah.
Cool. Well, before we dive in, before you give us the lowdown, we played a game a while ago called "What's Your Opinion On?"
Yeah,
Which
we've not come up with a better title for that
Not yet.
since. Okay.
Would you like
no
to come up
worries.
with one now? Just right now.
Nah, you're good.
Okay. Cool. Well, so I go on a random thing generator
Right.
and generate a thing, and then I'll ask you what your opinion on that thing is.
Okay.
And I've just done one, and it is broccoli.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, moving on. Yeah, it's good. It's a very versatile vegetable.
Yeah,
It's
I like broccoli.
Yeah, I
to be
like
fair.
some steamed broccoli. It's like fresh steamed broccoli. I'll eat frozen broccoli. It's fine. Not
I
frozen.
don't think I've ever had. I mean, maybe at like, unbeknownst to me, at restaurants or cafes, maybe
Oh, yeah,
I've
sure,
had frozen
maybe.
broccoli. But
But like, yeah, broccoli and asparagus work well together, or broccoli and carrots or something.
yeah,
Yeah, it's nice.
broccoli's pretty good.
You know, have it in a roast. Have it with a bit of pie.
Yeah, it is quite. You are right. It's light, isn't it? In a way, like it's
Yeah.
not too.
Not too fussy.
Whereas cauliflower, its sort of ancestor, it's like the neighbour down the street.
We'll see, because I'd have thought
It's
cauliflower
not
was
as
like
versatile.
the cool modern.
Oh, the slick.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not as versatile. Is
you
it?
can put cheese on me. Yeah. Oh,
And
you wouldn't put cheese on broccoli, would you?
you could try.
When you say you could try it, it's not going to deflect the cheese off. It will still. I just don't know if it
No,
would work.
get it away.
Oh,
But yeah, cool. Well, I
that's
guess
my opinion on broccoli.
do you have a higher opinion than Forks?
Oh,
Yeah, is it go above Forks? Our last.
well, the trouble is there. I mean, can you have broccoli without a fork?
you definitely can.
I mean, I'm sure you
It's
can.
literally got a little bit where you can hold it. It's one of the only vegetables which has a bit where you can hold the broccoli, like a little snack, a little tree, or a little treat.
Yeah, but you can hold most vegetables, right?
Peas. What you mean like that, like a dog?
Just
Broccoli.
snaffle them.
Right, cool.
I'm gonna say that forks are a bit more useful than
More
broccoli.
important. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
In the grand
Fair
scheme
enough.
of things.
Right. So, speaking of funny things,
Were we? We were speaking of broccoli. Is that a funny... Do you think broccoli is the funniest vegetable? What is the funniest vegetable? Probably a carrot, isn't it? Because it's funny to say you're going to stick a carrot up somebody's ass. It's not funny to say you're going to stick some broccoli up their ass.
But you might go against the norm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which way would you put the... let's crack on.
You'd probably put the sort of... the plug bit, and then you'd have the flower. Is it a flower? It's the end of a...
Maybe?
The head of a broccoli. Stick it up
It's the
somebody's
head,
ass.
and it's the head that you just said is the head of the broccoli.
Yeah.
Head of the broccoli.
head.
It's broccoli Dom or whatever, you know. It's the...
Broccoli top. You come to me on the day of my daughter's salad.
Very good.
It was fine.
It was alright.
It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't.
For a comedy focused episode,
Yeah.
I got to get better. You know.
Yeah. Take it away.
Yeah. Okay. Take it away. Take it away. Take it away now.
So, how have you gone about this? Because I just to put out, I don't want to make this about me, but just want to say it up front. I have not watched any stand up ever.
Ever?
Live.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I've seen on TV.
Yeah.
You're
not huge.
But I'm not a massive fan
No.
of stand up. But I have seen, like, on TV, that is, of course, you know, Lee Evans, big fan of.
Yeah.
Obviously, Peter Kay. I've seen bits of Gervais. I've seen bits of Tim Vine. And probably a bunch of others. But...
Tim Vine is from my neck of the woods.
England.
No, no, sorry. He's up the road from me. I don't know if he still lives there or if he lived there for a bit or was born there, but he's from there. And there's an American diner in the village near me called American Way, and they've named a burger after him.
Okay.
Or because he had a radio station there at one point, like he worked at the radio station.
Yeah, I think he did a lot of radio, didn't he?
I think attached to the diner.
Oh.
So they either named a burger after him or he named a burger, and it's on their menu still. And also I worked at a hospital for a while before I came to uni, and I saw him and his brother there at one point. Like over the time I worked there, because again, it's a hospital. If they're local, that's probably the hospital they'll use.
Yeah, you don't get like celebrity hospitals, do you?
No, and I don't really think that Tim Vine comedian is at the sort of level to go to a celebrity hospital if it did exist.
No, probably not.
Nor Jeremy Vine, who does the politics chat show, which is his brother. Which is crazy that one went into sort of politics talk and one went into comedy.
Yeah, I think with that, I was always like, is it his brother? Like, because it just didn't seem like they were...
They are brothers,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, it's not even like Tim Vine does political comedy. He does like wordplay and
Yes, puns in it.
puns and gags and things, which are I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's it for me.
But yeah, I think talking about Lee Evans and Peter Kay, that was all of those were sort of my introduction as a youngster, as a kid, to stand-up comedy. And then going towards, I think the first time I saw stand-up was when I was in sixth form. I had a friend who, again, on New Year's Eve, we obviously, it depends, you know, where I'd be at certain years, but like I'd hang out with this guy a couple of times doing like a New Year's Eve sort of celebration. We'd have a few people around his house or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were into sort of comedy and stuff, and we enjoyed like watching skits online and that sort of thing. But after the New Year's Eve celebrations, like on BBC One, they'd have like the fireworks up in London and that sort of thing, and a bit of music. And then about half an hour after the chimes, if you will, they'd always put on, there'd always be a stand-up comedy special of that year. Like, if it was coming out on DVD the next year, they would probably put it on I think it was on
What,
BBC
like
Two.
different people or one person?
No, different people. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
whoever the big comedian that year was.
Right.
If they had they had just done a tour and they had a DVD come in, it would be on the telly.
Okay.
So I remember that quite vividly. And like Michael McIntyre was quite funny at the beginning for me. Now I sort of like, I think I've outgrown that kind of comedy.
Damn, poor Michael.
Yeah.
McIntyred.
Yeah. But what does he care? He's got all these TV shows that he's hosting,
Yeah.
and
That's where comedians go to pasture.
yeah, but it's not a bad ending, is it? Like,
No, it suits
sometimes
them, right?
it's not
Like,
even an ending. Like, you go for
A
ages
beginning.
doing it. Yeah, a new
Is
beginning,
it? Is
a new
it?
chapter.
What is it? What's he doing? I know there's.
Presents?
Yeah, what
does
is
he
he
do?
doing?
The wheel? Does
I
he
was
do the
going to say,
wheel?
does he do the wheel? What's the one where like you've seen clips online where he brings celebrities in and they? Is that his show? Is that his
yeah? I
big
think
show,
that's just his show. Yeah,
which is still going? Yeah.
yeah, because he brings them in, and then somebody from like their past or whatever.
Yeah.
and-
So it's like Here Is Your Life.
yeah, but like just one.
Here is
segment.
that one person.
Here's that one bit of your life. This is Carol, and you fingered her behind a bush in school.
Jesus.
It's that sort of thing.
Oh right, that's how you. Very clever.
Yeah.
But I guess where you were, because you were in London, and I was in the sticks in the
You
countryside.
didn't
So
have TV reception, and nobody went to tour in.
it was terrible. It was awful. But like, yeah, you were in that area, right? Roughly, like you weren't,
Sure, yeah,
you know.
but yeah. So it was in sixth form that I went to my first stand-up comedy gig again because of this friend of mine. I think for his birthday or for Christmas, he was gifted stand-up tickets from an uncle or an aunt or somebody most years.
Turns out it was just shit theatre tickets, and they would just stand up to no seats.
Yeah.
You know, oh, sucks.
But I think a lot of there was a push on regional comedians, and not a push like it wasn't like box ticking, but it just seemed like there was a certain period of time, and I think it's still a thing now, but I think it's more sort of widespread. But like northern comedians was a big thing for a while. Obviously, Peter Kay kind of.
We look at like Tommy Cooper. And,
Tommy Cooper, yeah. So it was
Go back
well,
on.
Tommy Cooper. Where are you saying he's from?
Well, he's got. Well, is it? Where is he? Is he? It's
He's-
not Blackpool, is it?
No,
Where do I think it's Blackpool?
he's from Caerphilly. There is a statue of him outside
Of
Caerphilly
course,
Castle.
yes, he is. I added that out because I was very wrong there.
I don't. No. You'll keep that in.
Because I didn't know about this.
Yeah, exactly.
I just was dumb.
Yeah. Good Welsh comedian.
But yeah,
Tommy
I think it's
Cooper.
just because accents are inherently funny. They make everything funnier.
Yeah,
right?
this is true.
And
Yeah,
also, the BBC was always very prim and proper for a long time. The BBC radio voice of "Hello, good morning," like it was all, and comedy kind of broke.
The
broke that
only funny
formality.
thing about that voice is when Monty Python do it
Yeah.
to take the piss out of
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But yeah, a lot of sort of Scottish comedians. I remember.
Billy Connolly.
Yeah, Billy Connolly. My family loved Billy Connolly, so I sort of got into his stuff as well. Not stand up, but my granddad always had tapes of the Goon Show in his van that we'd listen to.
Yeah.
Again, sort of just my mix of comedy background is quite diverse in that there's political comedy, there's like intellectual comedy,
Surreal comedy.
there's like just silly, just like the Goon Show, and like here's a funny little voice, and two people doing funny little voices in a nonsense conversation.
Yeah. Hopefully not a nonce conversation.
Well, that we'll get onto that later on.
Brilliant.
There's some comedians who love talking about nonsense, and they make them funny.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You got to make light of everything, I guess.
Again, that's another thing that I've always enjoyed about comedy is seemingly there is no sort of limit on what you can. If you can make a joke out of something, I think go for it.
And it's comedy is a performance. It's not necessarily.
It's not their opinions
No, it's
or
not,
anything.
no.
But also like if you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's finding humor in every situation. It's not necessarily laughing at everyone. Like, you're not laughing at victims of certain
No,
like,
you're laughing
things.
at
You're
the
laughing
comedy.
at the comedy
Yeah.
and yeah.
God, you're having a proper Ricky Gervais moment now, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I don't know about that.
But I get what you mean.
Mm.
But there is a limit, of course.
Mhm.
Like anything.
Sure, yeah, it's unlimited limits. So, yeah, the first stand-up comedian I ever saw was Jason Manford.
Okay. Yeah.
It was over in, what year was it? 2013.
He's got notes.
Well, I've noted down the years that I've seen these
2013.
stand-ups. 2013. So, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Was the first time I saw stand-up. It was in Guildford, which was not that far away from us. I think it was like half an hour. His mum like drove us there and picked us up at the end. And yeah, it was the first time I had been to a live comedy thing.
What's his because I know of him. What is he got a style or is he like situational comedy? Is it
I'm trying to think because again it was over a decade.
But you haven't
ago.
you're not really into him since, like you haven't really.
Well, he's not really into stand-up
No,
anymore.
as
He
you
does
say,
a lot of
you
singing.
don't hear about him at all. Singing?
Yeah. So a lot
Oh.
of a lot of people, a lot of celebrities. Who was the one that we were talking about before that did
I
like?
think I know
Garden
exactly who
Force?
you're on about.
Have a think if you can Google it.
It's yeah.
But yeah, they will just make albums and they'll start like doing classical singing. Jason Manford, I believe, is very much into theatre nowadays, especially like musical
okay.
theatre. But it was I think it was sort of anecdotes and things like that. Yeah, because this comedy, the tour was called First World Problems, and in the interval, he like before he went off stage, he'd be like, all right, so I'm going to leave some.
Sorry, I've completely forgotten what show he even did.
Is it Garden Force
I
or
typed
Ground
in
Force?
car SOS, but that's not right.
No,
Garden Force?
Garden Force or 60-minute makeover or something like that. But yeah, so First World Problems, he would have like some pencils and sheets of paper, and he'd say, write down your first world problems, and I'll come back after the break and I'll sort of just go through them and
All right, okay,
like,
so
find
participation.
the funny in that, basically. Audience participation. And earlier that day, we had been in our local Sainsbury's, I think, and bought a packet of... Oh no, we bought a Freddo. And obviously Freddo started out, I want to say, at 5p.
Bloody hell, I don't even remember. I don't know if they
I
were
don't
that
think I remember
in
it
our
that far
time.
back. I think maybe 10p. But the idea of the shrinkflation Freddo scandal that is still pretty much going on, I think. Still people will reference Freddos when they're talking about inflation
it is,
and
isn't it?
things
Yeah.
like that. But my friend went down to write a third world problem in the interval, which was...
Third world or first world?
First world, sorry. First world problem.
Be a bit weird if you went down and wrote about a third world problem.
Yeah.
I'm hungry all the time.
He's like, he writes that it's a really sort of like whiny hipster thing to be like, yeah, no, this is really funny, but there are people in the world who have these. But basically, Jason Manford's whole like idea for first world problems was like, people in Africa aren't worried about putting the bins out on the wrong day or something, but that is a first world problem.
Yes.
That was his sort of main example, I believe.
Yep.
But my friend wanted to write about when you're settled with your laptop in like a restaurant, or like when we were in sixth form, it would be in the sort of sixth form common room.
Yep.
And you're settled with your laptop, and then it's gonna die. So then you've got to rearrange where you're sitting to be near a plug point.
Plug in.
Yeah.
Right. Poor power management, I'd say then.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Well, I went to see my friend in Bristol the other day, and she needed to charge her phone, and we were in a Spoons, and we had to
running
sort
around
of
trying to find-
we had to like move seats
Poor
3
old
times.
woman, like, she's like, move it. What do you need to plug in?
Yeah, come on, your CPAP machine?
Your false knee? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so at all.
No,
What are you
that's
plugging
what-
that in for?
Crazy bitch. What's the matter?
Right, okay. She's trying to like stick her foot in a socket.
Yep.
Charge it up so I can kick you. Yeah, so it was that idea. Got there, all the paper had gone.
Shit.
Yeah, but in his pocket he had the receipt for the Freddo. So, like in a tiny little gap that was blank.
Not on the back?
Maybe, yeah, I think it was on the back because I don't know if there was any printing on the back or there was there was some space.
Yeah.
So he wrote the thing, but then he also wrote, "Please turn over," and then he circled the price of the Freddo, which I thought pretty fucking funny.
He's got two possible jokes there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he ran with it. He read it out, and he
Oh,
was,
really?
and
Nice.
he was like, "Oh, well."
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it was a fun little.
Notice me.
Well, yeah, that's what it was for. Yeah.
Yeah, I meant that as a good thing. I don't know why I did it in such a mocking.
You said it in a very mocking way. And then when we finished, when we were waiting for his mum, I popped to the loo, and in a lot of theatre toilets, when you close the cubicle door, there's a little like snap frame, and it will have like a poster for whatever's currently going on.
It's a man's, yeah.
Yeah, advertising. So like, if you're,
Take a shit, have a read.
take a shit and go, oh, I might come back next week and watch
like,
whatever this is.
Oh my
Encore.
Uncle? Is that what you say when you go to the toilet?
on-
Uncle!
Encore.
It's because he always
Yeah.
helped you when you were a child.
Yeah, held my hand whilst I did a poo.
Yeah.
Drawer unlocked. It's not true.
That
Was in fact a lie. I'm glad we both went for the same gag. I'd be awful on Would I Lie to You.
I think I'd be alright.
My poker face is shit.
Don't even play poker.
But you do a shit every now and then, to my knowledge.
Are you about to tell me that you meant Manfred in the toilets?
No, I could tell you about a celebrity that I met in the toilets if you like, but not at those toilets.
That might be trauma. Yeah.
It's not quite. My mum took me to see Oliver in the West End, the musical, because I was a big fan of the film as a child.
Yep.
As I
film.
believe you were.
Yep. My dad's one of his favourite films that he introduced me to.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember we watched it together at one point in the first flat that we lived in.
Yes.
That was a nice day.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you remember when we were sat there and it'd be kind of like a fun thing because we'd be sat watching the telly, but as a second screen experience, it would be, oh fuck, the mouse is in the kitchen. Just a little extra little like double screen experience.
yeah.
Brilliant.
What
Great
a
stuff.
what a shithole we lived
Yeah.
in.
Well, at least it wasn't a rat. It was a mouse. It was a bit more civilized.
No, but also I remember it had like a hidey hole behind the telly. That's why we saw it so
Well, yeah,
often
'cause
when
it-
we were sat there.
it needed to catch things on the box. Like, it needed, like, it wanted to watch it, you know?
Yeah.
Mouse Hunt.
It's a, big Agatha Christie fan.
Mouse Trap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any others?
I mean, if it wanted to feel particularly risky, Danger Mouse.
Oh. Very
Anyway,
good.
right.
Moving
right,
on.
Let's get
Yeah.
back. Who'd you meet in the toilet?
Oh, this was at Oliver. I went to go into Oliver. I went to go into the toilet, and somebody came out of the toilet. So
Yeah.
I held the door open for him, and I looked up, and it was Russell Tovey,
Okay.
Alonso.
Was he in Oliver or not?
No, he was there watching.
Oh, okay, right.
And at the roughly the same time as I went to see Oliver, Being Human was on the TV.
I see. He was.
Don't know if you remember that.
I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
You know of it. It's about a ghost, a vampire, and a
So what
werewolf.
did you say? You went, ooh.
No. but they like flat share. I thought it was a great concept for a TV show.
Yeah.
But I did my business and I went back to wash my hands, very important. Then I went back to my seat and I was really excited to tell my mum, but I didn't know his name. So I went,
It's the bloke off the telly.
Well, no, I said, oh, Mum, I just helped a werewolf have a piss. And she went, excuse me? And I went, oh, the man from Being Human. And she went, I don't know what that is. And I was like, it's a TV show. And she went, right. And he goes, he plays a werewolf. And she went, right, okay.
Yeah.
Here's your ice cream. The intermission's about to finish.
Shut up.
Time for Who Will Buy the first song of Act 2.
My wonderful ice cream.
Yes.
That's what they sing to you when you go in. Who will buy my overpriced ice creams? I will.
Yeah, did you discover that like 2 years ago that how pricey ice creams at intermission are when you went to
is.
Yeah, true.
Well, I don't buy it. I'm not giving you any more money.
But you're happy to buy a program or a bit of merch.
Oh yeah, I'll buy the merch.
You'll throw like stupid amounts of money at merch.
I mean, yeah, the most
like
I've spent
40
is
quid,
what,
right?
60 quid.
60 quid, Jesus. But no ice cream for me.
No.
60 quid on merch, sure. 6 quid on ice cream, absolutely not.
Merch lasts a lifetime. Ice cream, no fucking time at all.
A minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. So it does last. So you're wrong.
Right, now to circle
Anyway, back to Jason Manford. So I'm in the toilet, I'm looking at this, and they had a poster for the Jason Manford tour in front of me.
And then Russell Tovey opened the cubicle. He went, "What the fuck?
Whoa!
Oh, hang a banger! You know?
Hang a banger!
Yeah.
Where, Wolf, did you come from? It should have been, how did you get in here? Yeah, shit, my bad. And I just sort of offhanded and mentioned to my friend, I was like, they've got...
What, out loud in the toilet? Yo, mate.
There's a poster in
Where's
there!
it? Shut the fuck up.
This place is great. No, I finished my business, I washed my hands again, very
Fantastic.
important.
Always wash your hands.
Always wash your hands. And I went out, and obviously my friend's mum still hadn't arrived. I think she caught in traffic or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was a poster in there. And he was like, I need to go to the toilet. So he went to the toilet. I hope washed his hands. I definitely hope washed his hands after this. And then...
Lick my fingers.
got in the car, got home, and as I got out of the car, he was like, here you go. And he had opened the snap frame and taken the poster out. And he gave me the poster.
So he's a
thief.
He's a thief.
But I still have that poster. In fact, I saw it this morning.
You should put it in our bathroom.
in a snap frame.
Fucking hell, Jason Manford.
If I ever do stand up, I will get a snap frame in our bathroom and put a poster of me with
Great,
a
so every time I
microphone.
want to take a shit, I have to look at you. Can't even get some privacy. And that's saying something, because our toilet is far from the door and to the, it's adjacent. So I can't look.
You have to
I'd
lean
have to
round,
look over there and go, there he fucking is.
So that was the start of my live comedy journey.
Nice.
2015, so 2 years after
2
that.
years later.
Same friend. Got tickets to see Noel Fielding. An evening with Noel Fielding. Now, again, we grew up watching The Mighty Boosh, which was a surrealist sort of sitcom with Noel Fielding, Julian Barrett, Matt Berry, a host of other, Richard Ayoade.
Just to interrupt, did you hear about the No Fielding thing on that show, the Apple show?
No.
Apparently he just disappeared, and the whole series just fell apart.
Oh, the Dick Turpin?
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently
right.
he just, I don't know, this is just the rumour, but apparently he just disappeared.
Right.
And they were like, right, well, this show's over. So, yeah.
Damn.
Anyway, I bet he wasn't disappearing when you saw him in 2015.
No.
Cut to ad breaks. No,
Very
we don't
good.
have ad breaks.
So, yeah, the Mighty Boosh had sort of ended years before, but he did have his own sketch show where he did like surrealist characters and things.
Right.
And so the first half of the show was stand-up. And again, his stand-up, again, is quite surreal. He's got a whole bit about, like, being a blue bottle fly.
Okay. Did he write the Mighty Boosh? Was he?
Yeah, I think
part
he
of
co-wrote it. Yeah, I believe
Right,
so.
okay, yeah.
And again, as all good, like, British comedies, it started as a radio show. Well, it started in sort of pubs and clubs as
Yeah.
skits.
A lot of them do, don't they? Yeah.
A lot of them do. Like, I think... I know the League of Gentlemen definitely started like that, and then they got a BBC radio show, and then they got their
Yep.
sitcom.
Yeah,
and then
work your way up, didn't you?
that's how you used to do it. I don't
So-
think you get a radio show anymore.
Say, what are we doing?
God knows. I don't know when we're getting our show. If anyone's watching that could make that happen, hurry up.
Yeah.
We're not getting any younger.
No.
We are, I hope, getting funnier though. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I definitely think we are. We're gelling more comedically. Give us our fucking show. I guess this is like radio, isn't it? Spotify
Yeah.
and YouTube and the podcast is the word.
So
I'm
this
looking
is
for.
step 2. So the next one is show.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say we skipped live shows, but we have written plays before, comedy plays.
Wow.
So
We're
Yeah.
getting there.
it's sort of a conventional route, but not quite. It's
You should do a routine on our pods and just see how it goes.
yeah, okay.
We should be different people.
Yeah.
One episode just be completely different characters.
Okay, interesting.
Don't tell anyone.
Right,
Don't tell anyone.
don't keep it under your hat.
I can bash you on. What's that?
So what is that? Would you if you were writing that down? What would you
For
put it
context,
in the comments?
when I'm writing, sometimes I will literally just have to stop and be like, "What is this thing I'm thinking of?"
Yeah,
And sometimes I will just try and talk to myself to try and be like, "What is it?" And this action, and for audio listeners, it's when like you think, "What is that?"
yeah, exactly. When you're telling somebody to like stop
it.
saying
Yeah.
a thing, or
yeah. Like it's like you're cutting your neck.
yeah,
You're
to spite your face.
you're cutting your neck, and you're like, shut up. What is that in a word? Please let us know.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Noel Fielding.
Yeah, so Noel Fielding, the first half was stand-up comedy. As I say, he does surrealist
Second
stand-up
half,
comedy.
he sat on a chair.
Yeah. No, second half was basically characters from the sketch show.
Oh, from his show.
Yeah. And I was a big fan of the sketch show. I do remember the second series not being as good, and yet he was in an interview and he said, during the first series, I wasn't in a great place mentally. The second series I feel a lot better about.
Interesting.
Um,
So you should basically say to him, "Look, mate, go back to being
Be
bad.
sad
Like,
again.
Be depressed. Like it's better content."
yeah. But what that seems to be quite common with comedians is you find a lot more humour in the dark places. Yeah, like, I mean, Robin Williams was
I was
apparently-
going to say that, but that's a bit cliche answer. But yeah,
No, but it's true. It's the
my brother has started watching proper films out of nowhere, and I don't know why.
I think you were saying your brother's depressed,
He's-
but also really funny.
He's not funny.
Oh, okay. Right, what proper films
But
are
like
you watching?
he's never like I obviously watch a shit ton, and he's never really like he'll watch blockbusters and things, but he won't really. And like the other day he watched the other week he watched fucking hell, I forgot Good Will Hunting.
Oh, okay.
And I was like
How'd you like them
I
apples?
was like why? Because like it's such a weird thing for him suddenly to watch. He was like, oh yeah, it's good. Didn't realize that Robin Williams was like a proper actor.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah, he's really good. And then I think he watched like Train Dreams the other day, and he was like, oh, that was really good. I'm like, Jesus, he must be missing me. Maybe that's how he fills the gap in his life.
So yeah, I'd rather watch a film than
Talk to me.
yeah. In fact, I'm going to put one on right now. So yeah, the first half comedy, surrealist, Blue Bottle. Yeah, he's got a great bit where he's just like, oh, I'm flying around the room, I'm Blue Bottle, I'm going to the window, and at the last minute I'm turning back. Because you know when there's a blue, you open the window
Right.
in the hope that it will fuck off.
So it's
And it
it's
pisses around near the
surreal
window.
observational comedy.
Yeah, which I think is great. He also, obviously, he went to art college, but before he went to like art school, he was like a chav, which doesn't, in your head, If you think Noel Fielding growing up, you don't think he was a chav. But apparently he said, oh yeah, I was a chav. And then I went to art school and I came out and I am this now.
Conversion.
Yeah, he's been converted into it. And then, yeah, a great bit is where he was walking past some youths. And he thought, oh, maybe, that's my past. Maybe we're connecting. And they just stopped him and went, what is you? Not like, what are you, or what are you wearing, or what is you?
That might hit deep.
Yeah.
Hit you to the core.
Yeah, and then obviously second half
Existential.
Second half characters. Fantasy Man was always one of my favourite characters that he did in that sketch show, which was a sort of like choose your own adventure, medieval knight, cyber looking thing. And then we went and got some merch afterwards. I think we went to Sage Door, but I don't think he was there in the end. But his brother Michael Fielding, who was also in the Mighty Boosh, was there, so we met him.
He's like, mate,
That
I
was
can't be asked tonight. Can you just go down?
Just go and see my
put
brother.
a wig on.
Yeah. So that was 2015.
Do you know who I've seen? I've seen clips of Bill Bailey. I like Bill Bailey.
Yeah, I
I've
don't
seen
think
some
I ever
clips.
really got into him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Uh,
Next.
Next, well, big jump for some reason. I just didn't see any stand-up comedy until I came to uni,
The Dark Years.
the dark years. And even then, it was late in uni. It was 2023, so it was like my last year of the BA.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Maybe you needed it.
Yeah,
After
probably.
all that, you're like, I could do with a laugh.
Well, because it was odd. One of the people on my course, he's bilingual. He's from Wales. And he speaks Welsh and English.
And speaks bullshit.
And speaks bullshit.
Fluent.
But he does stand up.
Okay.
So we went along to see some of his shows, and he's pretty funny. He does. I think he primarily does Welsh language stand up. So obviously we didn't go to those
Yeah, it's a bit tough.
because I wouldn't have understood that.
Dwayne Hoffy Coffee. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Know that one.
I'm trying to think of any other Welsh phrases.
Dwayne Catino.
What's that?
I think it's like I agree.
Oh,
Dewey them and Hoffy coffee. I don't like coffee.
I
But
don't
something.
like coffee. Okay.
What's the toilet one?
The toilet one.
I don't know why I'm asking you, because like
In wibbly wobbly.
when you want to go to the toilet.
That's not toilet. That's jellyfish. But
Pranam Dar, Bora Dar.
apparently,
Hello, Dar.
there's another. Hello, Dar. How you doing, Dar? Yeah, I wish I remembered what it was, but it's wibbly wobbly is like the kid friendly jellyfish. Like
What are you on about?
that's like Welsh for jellyfish.
Oh right, I thought you were just like talking bullshit. Bollocks.
But apparently, there's another one that translates to the cunt of the sea, which is also
Right.
jellyfish. But I can't remember what the.
It's a good job you don't learn bad language, isn't it?
No. Well, I would like to learn Welsh, I think. But anyway, so watched some of his stand up, was kind of inspired, and I was like, oh, I would like to maybe give that a go at some point, and then I kind of put it at the back of my head. But yeah, watched people like Robin Morgan did a cut. He's like a local Cardiff
Right.
comedian who's been on like, I think he'd been on Mock the Week and like he's on telly and
Okay,
radio
so
and
it's
stuff.
decent
So
level,
he's
yeah.
out there a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's funny. I think I might have went to see one of his like solo shows in
Star Wars.
Cardiff. Yeah. But that was when I sort of went, oh, I'll get back into watching stand up, and I got tickets to see Nick Helm on. That was a year later.
Yeah.
That was 2024. Nick Helm's Super Fun Good Times show.
Super fun. Good. Was it super fun?
It
Good
was.
time
It was
show?
great. Yeah. It sort of.
Nick Helm.
he again. I remember Nick Helm when I was younger. From I think the first time I ever saw him was on the Russell Howard's Good News on BBC Three. So Russell Howard's Good News came out twice a week.
Never seen that man in my life.
What, Nick Helm?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just googled him. I've seen him now, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, Russell Howard's Good News. It was like a news show, but it was a comedy news show, and it would be whatever was out that week.
Right.
Current humour, and then on the Saturday version of the show, he'd have a stand-up comedian slot at the end of the show.
Mm.
So, and Nick Helm was on. I think that was the first time I saw Nick Helm perform on TV. And I love a good comedy song. Billy Connolly, obviously, great with it, and that sort of thing. Victoria Wood as well, brilliant with comedy songs. So he did a song called "He Makes You Look Fat," and it's about a girl that he fancies and her boyfriend being like cool and slick and trim and next to.
Like me.
I thought you were pointing behind you. And he's like so perfect that he makes her look like shit. And he's like, I'll tell you what would be great for you is if your boyfriend looked like me and then you wouldn't look like shit compared to me.
Right.
So it's him basically being like, go out with me because I'm
Manipulation.
overweight and scruffy and
Yep.
yeah.
Right.
But it was a fun song because again it was like an upbeat. So I was like, oh, this guy's great. And then he had a sitcom called Uncle, which again he had some like songs in there, and I think it ran for 3 series in the end. But in this stand up show, because I've seen him twice now live. I saw him in 2024 and then in 2025. 2024 again, it was great, like non-stop laughing. Like he really holds an audience. He does a lot of stuff about mental health and like his own journey through mental health. And it wasn't as heavy on that aspect in the 2024 show, but in the 2025 show that I saw, I went with friend of the pod, Elle.
Yeah, I remember you going.
And I don't know, he spoke a lot more about mental health because he sort of tracks his mental health journey along with his comedy journey. It's like, I was doing this thing.
He was mental. Now he's healthy. Is that the journey?
Yeah, maybe.
Black and white, A to B.
It's not quite that.
No, it's not.
It's an ongoing
Definitely not.
struggle.
Definitely not, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is about comedy.
Wash your hands.
Let's be serious for a minute. Wash your hands. Dirty.
Wash and dry.
Oh. And we'll get into whatever that is. Never, probably, right?
Little tidbit.
Little tidbit.
Let's just say titbit.
Little bit of a tit. You are a little bit of a tit.
At least I'm not a big tit.
Oh. So, yeah, a lot more mental health in the second one that I saw. And I really don't know what it was about the second one, but it, like, really struck a chord with me.
Mm.
And I felt... Like, I've always obviously thought that comedy, you can talk about anything and you can... it can help with a lot of things, and when it comes to like sitcoms, like I was recommending Only Fools and Horses to somebody the other day.
All right, yeah.
On the basis of like the great writing style that you can go really dramatic, and even when you're at the height of the drama, John Sullivan chisels away with a joke.
Yeah.
And sometimes you even feel bad for like giggling or laughing at a certain joke because you're like, I should be like sort of sober faced for this really dramatic scene.
But he never breaks the drama.
No.
And he never underserves his characters.
No, exactly. So yeah, I've always thought, comedy is a great tool for tackling these sorts of things.
Definitely.
But when it's live and when it's like with live music, again, I don't know how, I'm sure people say this all the time, but I remember my mum being like, "Oh, I saw Bon Jovi," and he like looked at me, like it's a thing for people to be like, "Oh, he looked at, like, he looked dead at me. He was singing that song to me or whatever." But I felt in a split moment during that show that I saw that he was talking directly to me. And Elle had bought us tickets for this second show for my birthday. And I had just turned,
A new leaf.
or turning 29. And I mean, this year I'll be turning 30, and
God, you're so old.
you'll be turning 30
No,
a
no,
month
no.
before I will.
No. Lies.
But I was like, where am I? Like, what am I doing with...
Oh, you were pissed.
Yeah, what's going on? No, it's just like mentally, I'm just like, where am I? Like, what is my trajectory?
Yeah.
And after the show, like, you can queue up at the merch stand, get a picture with him, get whatever you want signed.
Yeah.
And just have, like, even though the queue was bloody long, and he's on tour, so he's got to go back to a hotel or the bus or whatever and
Yeah, move on.
move on.
Yeah.
But he spent so much time with people, and he would talk to
That's
people.
nice,
And
isn't it?
yeah, it's really nice to sort of see, and because obviously things like stage door, like theatre and things, it's not to be expected. It is
No.
a privilege.
No, exactly, yeah.
And people have lives, and they've just given you 2 to 3 hours of their life. Like, be happy with that. Like, that's what you paid for. That's what they've come for. But when people do connect with you, especially with like something that's personal to them, like he obviously wrote the whole stand-up show,
Yeah.
and then he performed it, and it's about his life, obviously, because that's what comedy is. Like, you don't tend to write comedy about that isn't in any way, shape, or form.
No, it has to be
personal.
grounded
It has to be
in
grounded.
the
It has to be
person,
personal. And yeah, and I was like, oh yes, my birthday and something like that. I said something, sort of.
It's my birthday.
Yeah, I said something
And
sort
he's
of
like,
shitty.
I don't do that sort of thing anymore. Blow out me candle. I'd rather not, honestly.
But yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, like it's. He goes, oh, how old are you? I'm 29.
He said, "Fucking hell, you don't look it."
And
Yeah, oh, thanks. He's like, "Oh,
no,
what a
what I
compliment,
meant.
mate."
No, but I can't. I wish I remembered the exact phrasing, but he basically. Because I had a couple of ciders during that show, and on the way back, I'm sure I put like a very slurry voice note in the chat. God knows how I'm gonna fucking go back and find
Been
that.
done many times.
Yeah, but I
And you
was
were just so
I
upset
was
that
emotionally touched.
I wasn't there. That was what it was.
No, I think that would have been. No, it would have been nice. I'd like you to go to a few more stand-up things. I think to experience them, but it was something like he goes, "Do you know what? This is where it starts." This
What, here right now?
no, but like your 20s are over. 20s were the bullshit times. That was the time to fuck around, and this is where he goes. This is where it gets better. And since then, I've gone. I don't mind about turning 30.
Really?
This is it. This is the start of life.
Interesting.
That's
good.
Yeah. No,
Good attitude
it
to have.
energized me. It really fired me up, and I was like, fuck. And when I was sat watching the show, and I felt that sort of moment of him, like looking and like telling a joke in my general direction.
General direction. Yeah.
Oh. I was like, yeah, I'd love to do it because again, I don't. I was gonna say I don't like attention. I like attention when I'm like telling a joke or something. I love to make people laugh in like social situations if I can with friends, like close friends. I love to get a good like belly laugh or a chuckle out of somebody.
Yeah. It's endorphin rush, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But And that has always crossed my mind. When I like make friends laugh, I'm like, is it just
Make friends up.
make them laugh?
Oh, if we say when you make friends up.
Yeah.
This is Adam. He's my new friend.
Yeah. Oh, there he is now. Yeah. No, I'll be done soon. Yeah, I'm just doing this fucking podcast. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a sort of Make-A-Wish thing for Jake, yeah. Yeah. He's not got any real friends.
No,
He's
not looking
he can't
for it.
even make up any friends. Yeah, alright, see you in a bit.
Lack of imagination.
But yeah, I've always thought, well, is it just I'm just funny around friends or like in a social setting?
I don't think you're funny
Or
around friends
could-
either.
Brilliant. But I'm like, could I make strangers
I think-
laugh?
I think you could.
I'd like to think I could. I'd like to give it a go at least.
Yeah, no, you should.
And maybe that'll be a journey that we document on the pod. Who knows? Like you say, I might do
There's
it.
a pub down there. They do open mic night. It's close enough.
Yeah, but it's a fucking rough pub.
It's not. It's just a pub. We haven't been in there. We don't know. Looks fucking scary though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
past it. Fuck me. I wouldn't want to go in. But yeah, but I felt like, oh god, I'd love to give this a go. This is great. You could sort of. It's like therapy that you get paid to do.
Do you not feel though like the fear of it just not because
Oh god, yeah.
you die on stage, right? Like
Yeah. But then I've watched so many comedians talk about dying on stage, and I'm like, well, that's just part of it then. I think I'm getting to a point in life where the idea of rejection, whether that be socially, romantically, whatever, it's kind of in my head that it's going to happen either way. You know, so just fucking go for it.
I need some of whatever you're taking.
Well, I think I've just been ground down over the last 29
Minutes.
years. Yeah, over the last hour. I'll be like, fucking hell. First it was exam paper, now it's this. And I've just been absolutely demolished by it. But yeah, I just kind of go, well, fuck it. It'll either happen or it won't. But it definitely won't happen if I don't push myself into those situations. Then I'm aware of sort of time, so I might...
You just gotta cut that off. That really deep thing. You're like, and then I saw Harry Hill.
No, I think that's
No, it's
what I
some-
meant.
it's
That
some good
was the
stuff.
sort of
Some-
the end of that chapter there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to put a thing in the end
Is-
which says like, if you've been affected by any of the topics raised
If
in
you've
this?
been affected by stand-up comedy in the same way I have, get some help, because that's not normal. To go, I was touched by the comedian. Not in that way.
Wow. You know, you said we get onto that. Right, who's next on the?
Who's next is Adam Kay.
Is he?
So yeah,
I thought he was alright.
Adam is Kay.
Adam okay?
Adam okay.
Is Adam okay?
He's not Irish.
Adam
And it's
okay.
Adam okay.
Hi. That was just me.
What
warming
was
up
that? That
for
was
the-
you.
for the
That
accent.
was you being
That wasn't-
discriminatory.
No,
discriminatory.
what was that? You got what was that? Discriminatory.
So Adam Kay, who was I want to say a nurse or junior doctor, I think.
Right.
And I was recommended a show by a friend called This Is Going to Hurt on BBC.
Yeah.
And it's Ben Wisham.
Isn't it Ben Whishaw?
Is it? Ben Whishaw?
Not an M in it, I don't think.
Ben Whishaw then.
Are we sure?
Q from... Was he Q or was
Yep.
he M? He was Q in the Daniel Craig Bonds.
He's also Paddington.
And the voice of Paddington, I was getting onto that, yeah. But he started this show that was written by Adam Kay about his own life experience, based on a book that he'd written called This Is Gonna Hurt,
Yep.
which is a series of diary entries about being a junior doctor. And also about his life, sort of in tandem to that.
Yeah.
And watched that show, thought it was brilliant. Like, it's really funny where it needs to be. It's obviously really hard hitting.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Really, yeah, I really highly recommend it. And he's not even the best bit in it. Like, the supporting cast are brilliant. I forget the actress's name, but she plays. I think she's a trainee nurse.
Have you not brought it before on the pod? When you were going to cast her in...
Oh yes, I think I
in
might have done
something,
actually. Yeah,
before,
in the Sherlock Holmes, I
yeah.
believe. But yeah, she's brilliant. And so watched that after it being recommended. And then he was on tour with his... He did like a sort of stand-up to promote his book Undoctored, which was like the follow-up. Because after he quit the medical profession, he became a TV writer.
Okay,
And obviously he wrote about that, but he also wrote other comedies and things. And
Yeah.
he's been a comedian for a good while.
Happens a few times, actually, about people that have a profession that then become writers because they write about
What they've
done.
Well,
God,
my-
it's gone from me. What's the Martin Freeman police thing? Responder, is it? That's written by a ex.
Oh, I was going to say Martin Freeman. What? Just because he was John Watson for a bit? And then he
No.
became a
Is it
Responder?
Responder?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's written
yeah.
by someone I believe that was
Oh.
policeman.
Well, funny enough, talk about startups. My friend has just been accepted onto a teacher course, and we joke that she's only becoming a teacher so that she can eventually become a stand-up comedian, because a lot of stand-up comedians were teachers.
Right. Is
Ramesh
she
Rangan,
funny?
Nathan, Craig. Oh yeah, I think so. But again, I surround myself with funny people. All my friends are funny, I think. In different ways, I think all my friends are funny.
There are some exceptions.
Well,
though.
regardless, I mean, obviously you're not my friend, but I also think you're funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
see?
Did a little flip
You didn't
there.
know where that was going,
No,
did you?
that
Yeah.
was fucking nuts. Honestly.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
Yeah, Greg Davis, Ramesh Rangan, Nathan were obviously both teachers beforehand, and then they talk about that a lot in their stand-up.
It's good source material. For
Well,
comedy,
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly, because kids are dickheads. So you can say that.
Especially when their phone goes off in a mock exam and
Yeah,
it plays
brilliant.
Nickelback.
Throwback. Yeah, love that.
It could be a throw forwards. We don't know.
Who knows which way
That
we're
might
putting
be a
these
tease or it might be a callback. It'd be a fucking callback, all right? With your fucking phone.
I can't remember where I was going with that. People. Oh yeah, so Adam Kay. Yeah, again, really emotional but really funny stuff. His stand-up was great. He does a few songs, including a song that I remember hearing. That again with the friend who took me to see Jason Manford, we'd listened to, and we didn't even know who Adam Kay was back then. But when he started doing comedy, it was Adam Kay and I think his name was Simon Biswas was his like stage name.
Oh right, yeah.
They were like a duo, and they did a song called. I'm gonna fuck this up because it's such a long, but it's something like paracetamol, bendroniumycin. I think that was correct. But it was a song about a drug that they had made up that basically cures everything, but also has a shit ton of side effects, and that was the comedy in it. And
Oh,
it
it's
was
just a
pretty
list of
funny.
side effects, was it?
Yeah, sort of. But yeah, it's pretty funny. And then I also saw Randy Feltface, who is the little purple puppet.
Right.
And that was again at the same place that I saw Nick Helm. It was a stand up bit, but it was a puppet, so it was all obviously.
Oh, so you didn't? There wasn't a person
No. It wasn't
a
the
Ken
puppet
Dodd
was doing the
situation.
whole thing.
or Conti. What's her name?
Oh, Nina Conti.
Nina Conti.
Yeah, I think she's quite funny as well. Yeah, big fan of her stuff. But no, I mean, I think he did have like a human co-host in some comedy that he's done, but on this particular, it's just Randy Feltface.
That's cool.
Really good. Again, wacky because you've got to be. You can't be serious with a puppet, can you? Really?
Well, not really. You can try.
Yeah, you give it a go, but
Like if you want to settle down, have kids, it's going to be hard.
yeah,
You said you can't be serious with a puppet.
right, yeah.
Just sort of took that and went with it,
Only one night stands with puppets, I think.
if that's how you want to.
Hit it and
Go.
quit it. Yeah, that's my advice when you're dating a puppet. Is
Yeah.
don't be too serious with it. Yeah.
No.
So yeah, and then
After all, someone else has been with the puppet second hand.
second hand, very good. Yeah. Although if somebody's been with a puppet, you wouldn't want to put your hand up there. You'd hope that they'd have cleaned it out beforehand. Beforehand. Oh,
Beforehand, what? Foot?
beforehand foot.
Beforehand, what was it? Foot?
And then obviously after that saw that second Nick Helm show, but I thought I sort of covered that
Yep.
there. And then the latest person that I've seen, I was really excited because I really got into the podcast Finn versus History.
Which you've totally not mentioned ever before.
Never
on
mentioned
this
it
pod.
before on this pod.
Shame they don't mention our pod on their pod.
No, I think, come on, lads. You've got, what is it, 300,000 Patreon subscribers. You could throw us a bone, I reckon. But yeah, really into that. Love that pod. And also recently got into Finn versus the Internet, was like the original pod they did.
Oh, right, okay.
And that was a sort of Between Two Ferns-esque
Right.
interview thing, but they'd
Yeah.
get people from the internet, like big influencers and things, and basically rip the shit out of them via this interview. And they'd have like extra characters that come in, like the Finn as the host. Did a lot of like my wife's fat jokes, like as this character, because it was always a character.
Right. So he gets away with it, innit?
Yeah, of course. So obviously when his wife got mad, he'd be like, oh, it's the character, isn't
It
it?
was the character.
What's the character's name? Finn. What's your name? Finn.
But why have you left me? It was the character.
was
Yeah,
the
but
character.
you've moved out. It's the character.
Sorry, who signed the divorce papers? It was the character. Was it bollocks? Lucky the character's got the same fucking name as you legally, innit?
Can't
But,
wait
like-
for the character to get my foot up his ass.
Like he's got his stepson Jeffrey that comes in, and it's just a middle-aged man.
Right.
And he just kind of sits there, and he's There's a great gag where he's got a little sort of, those bags that go around here
Yep.
and zip up, and he opens it up, and he just pulls a flashlight out of it,
Right.
and they're like, what, Jeffrey, what you doing with that? And he went, fanny pack in it, which I think is a great little gag.
Jesus Christ.
It's a very crude show, but it's because they take the piss out of.
You won't be getting any of that here, so
Influences.
don't worry.
We won't be getting any of that.
Keep it all above the line. What line? We don't know.
Yeah,
But there is a
no
line
idea.
somewhere.
There's a line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's above the line, but it's below the belt, I think, is our humour.
That's a great tagline.
Yeah. Write that one down.
Write that one down.
Which is also a great catchphrase of ours.
Yeah.
But yeah, really into those podcasts. And then he's on tour this year. But at the beginning of this year, he's done like local pubs and things.
Oh, yeah.
To try out the material, which I think is great for comedians. Like they try out material. You can get cheap tickets to see.
They kind of have to, right? I would have thought.
Yeah, yeah, I
it's part of
suppose
the
so.
process. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good way, but I feel like, you'd be stupid not to, because
Yeah.
you're getting money, innit?
Well, yeah, exactly. You're still getting you're not having to. You're not charging like the prices that you charge at like, because he's going to like the Apollo and things.
Right.
Which I think he's already sold out, and he's got like another date because of it, which is great because the Apollo is huge. Have we been? No, we've not been to the Apollo.
That's the one
have
that went to space, isn't it?
we? Yeah. But yeah, massive venue, big for comedy as well.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, Live at the Apollo.
Live at the Apollo is,
That's-
yeah.
everyone knows that shit.
And so got tickets, and it was in a pub that's about 20 minutes from my mum's house. So went home for the weekend, met up with my dad, took him along to watch it because again he had sort of got into his comedy as well. Again, it's I hate to use the term edgy humour, but again it's the darker side of comedy.
Right. Yeah.
He kicked it off. Again, I like warm up acts as well. At comedy gigs, he had the compare, but he also had a warm up act, and then he came on at the second half and tested his material. But like, there was like Prince Andrew jokes and talking about. He's like, yeah, obviously the First World War, Second World War, because again, he brings up history because of his podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it's First World War, Second World War, like, there's a cinema to it. Like, there's a story behind it. There's, you know, it was down there after the First World War, and then Second World War, like, boosted up, and, like, Third World War, he's like, as far as I can tell, it's paedophiles versus Islamic fundamentalists, and I think I'm on the side of the Islamic fundamentalists.
Damn.
Which is a strong opener for something like that.
We're gonna actually clip that and put it as
Yeah,
one of our preview
right.
clips.
Yep. Although we can't. Well, I don't really want to give his material away because I think people should go and buy tickets.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't. And also, it looks bad upon you not being funny.
What,
I mean, I'm not
stealing is what? Yeah, but I'm giving him credit. I'm saying that it's his
Right.
joke. I didn't go, oh yeah, I was watching it and then I turned to my dad and went, I got a funny joke. This is it. Because I'm sure that's how you would perceive me in like a comedy show. You think that I would always go, oh, I'm the centre of attention here. I'm funnier than that
Actually,
guy.
I think you'd be like, I've got a reel.
Yeah, fuck that. But it's a reel of him.
Yeah, but you're like, still, it's 10
It's-
seconds, so it's much more digestible than whatever.
punchier than this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like in sort of hysterics at that, and that was only obviously because it was a taster sort of thing. It wasn't like a full show.
Right.
So I'm gonna get tickets for his full show this year. Again, he obviously talks about history. He talks about being a dad and being a husband and like sort of traditional comedy, stand-up comedy, like subjects, but in a very sort of modern twist. And a lot of comedians will go, you know, oh, I've got, two kids, and the first one's lovely and the second one was a mistake, and they're dickheads and all the rest of it. But it makes it relatable because it's like, I'm sure there are parents out there who are like, yeah, like toddlers are dickheads, and it's fucking disastrous, and I hate it.
Damn.
But then they become
No
real
offense-
people.
No
at
offense,
certain times.
toddlers.
No, fuck them. Sod them. Don't like them.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's basically where
All right.
I'm at the moment with
So
stand-up.
your plan is to see Finn?
Yeah, I'd like to see Finn Taylor this
Anyone
year.
else? Anyone else on your bucket list?
Not at the moment. Again, I would love to go and see Nick Helm again. I'm waiting for him to do another tour. Yeah, I think I'd like to just go out and see more comedy. Obviously, we're close to Cardiff, and they've got the Glee Club, and they've
Yeah.
gotten a lot of like local talent as well as obviously people who do their comedy tours will usually stop at a Glee Club, either it being the Cardiff one or
Yeah.
one of the ones up north or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd like to watch a lot more because again, I'm not huge into live music, so this is kind of where I would go. Like, I like theatre obviously, but like I would veer towards getting tickets to a stand-up comedian than I would to go and see something live.
Yeah.
Like music wise. Again, I've seen some concerts recently and I really enjoyed them, but I wouldn't go out of my way to
You
go.
prioritise
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
And yeah, I'd also like to give an open mic night, I think I'd like to work on a set, and I would probably test it. Trouble is, I'd have to only test it amongst a couple of friends, because I'd hope that they
Would come along.
They
and
would
bulk
come
your
along
audience
and-
out.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. I've
um,
heard that one.
yeah. Oh, you said that one yesterday. I was like, yeah, because we're testing it out, dickhead. And you didn't laugh then. I mean, they you know, when I said I wanted to be a comedian, they were all laughing. No one's laughing now.
Can I shout out a joke that I told you the other day, which you liked, or do you remember it? I told you one the other day. It was
Go
quite
on.
good,
No, you
wasn't it?
tell me it again.
And you can use this for your material.
Yeah, but did you come up with it?
I think I adapted it.
Okay, go on.
Because I don't. I say adapt. I might have just forgotten
Sure.
the original delivery,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a bit dark.
Go on.
My child was involved in a school shooting today. Managed to get 6 of the bastards.
No, I do like that one.
There you
Well, I'll finish on a joke then whilst we're here.
Yeah.
Why did Jesus have so many followers?
Why did Jesus have so many followers?
Because they heard he was hung like this.
For audio listeners,
I'd stretch my arms out like
Stretched
the
arms out.
crucifixion.
He did whip his dick out.
Whoa, that was
whoa.
that's the joke. It's
Yeah,
the
I know.
Double entendre.
Oh yeah, French.
Yeah, they're not funny.
And there we go.
Yeah.
And on that note,
On that bombshell.
thank you all for listening today.
Yeah, thanks for listening to my my journey.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there.
There's some emotion in there.
Yeah. Bet you didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think
I'm going to be able to
next
put
time.
that in the hashtags.
What, emotion? Hashtag emotion.
Mental health, innit? Put that in the
Hashtag
hashtag.
mental health.
Yeah.
Cool. And if you were affected by
Sadness.
comedy,
Hopelessness. Just get them all in it.
okie dokie. Thank you so much. And we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
I need a wee wee.